What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Roger Report. We're kicking things off with a story that's got the WNBA world buzzing. Kelsey Mitchell's MVP snub. How did Indiana Fever's powerhouse player, who battled injuries and carried her team, end up in fifth place? We're digging into how Caitlin Clark's presence and team consistency might have played a bigger role than you think. Next up, get ready for some mind-blowing numbers. The 2025 WNBA Playoffs first round just shattered expectations, becoming the second most watched ever. We're talking massive viewership and a league that's absolutely exploding. You do not want to miss these stats. But the excitement doesn't stop there. Indiana Fever's head coach, Stephanie White, is stepping into the spotlight to share her insights on Caitlin Clark. We'll hear exactly what White has to say about Clark's incredible leadership and perspective, even while she's sidelined. This is the inside scoop you've been waiting for. And finally, we're getting the inside scoop from Fever star Sophie Cunningham herself. She's revealing why playing alongside the phenomenal Caitlin Clark is just so darn fun. Get ready for some candid insights and a look at the dynamic that's powering the Indiana Fever. Stick around for all the details and make sure you're subscribed and hitting that notification bell so you never miss a single update. Kelsey Mitchell's MVP snub, the Caitlin Clark effect. This WNBA season saw Indiana Fever's Kelsey Mitchell deliver an absolutely stellar, resilient performance, especially considering the injuries that plagued her team. She was a consistent force, stepping up when it mattered most. Yet, when the MVP votes were tallied, Mitchell landed in fifth place, a result that left many scratching their heads. How could a player who carried her team through so much adversity be overlooked? It seems a perfect storm of factors contributed to this surprising outcome. From the outset, much of the league's attention was fixated on the highly anticipated debut of Caitlin Clark. Even after Clark suffered an injury that sidelined her for a significant chunk of the season, the narrative often circled back to her potential impact. Mitchell heroically stepped into the void, showcasing an incredible scoring ability and leadership. But analysts like Rachel Demita suggest that her consistent, steady play might have been overshadowed by the initial hype and lingering focus on Clark. Demita pointed out on the Courtside Club podcast that MVP awards are strictly for the regular season. And while Mitchell's efforts were monumental, voters might have been swayed by the early season narrative and Clark's expected return. Furthermore, Mitchell's own playing style and personality seem to have played a role. Known for her quiet, team-focused approach rather than flashy celebrations, Mitchell's consistent demeanor might have inadvertently made it harder for her to capture the spotlight compared to more charismatic contenders. In a league where personality can often amplify presence, Mitchell's reserved nature might have contributed to her flying under the radar. Finally, team success is a huge factor in MVP voting. Despite Mitchell's individual brilliance, the Indiana Fever faced considerable team struggles, impacting their overall standing. Analysts often weigh how a player's contributions translate to team wins, and the Fever's inconsistent season likely impacted Mitchell's MVP chances. Could this MVP snub ignite a new fire in Kelsey Mitchell? And speaking of the Indiana Fever, wait until you hear what Coach Stephanie White is saying about Caitlin Clark's impact from the sidelines. WNBA playoff ratings skyrocket, a league on fire. Forget the cliches, the WNBA is absolutely thriving. Even with some of the biggest stars sidelined due to injuries, the 2025 WNBA Playoffs first round just delivered jaw-dropping viewership numbers, making it the second most watched first round in league history. ESPN announced that the opening round averaged an incredible 943,000 viewers across ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2. This surge in viewership highlights the massive growing interest in the WNBA. Specific games also set records, with the Atlanta Dream vs. Indiana Fever Game 2 pulling in 1.5 million viewers, making it the second most watched first-round Game 2 ever. The Las Vegas Aces vs. Seattle Storm matchup wasn't far behind, averaging 1.1 million viewers. Across the board, viewership is up a staggering 125% from 2023, showcasing the league's incredible momentum. This success isn't just about one or two stars. While Caitlin Clark's Fever made the playoffs and advanced to the semifinals, contributing to visibility, the league's overall appeal is undeniable. The fact that 3 of the 4 series went the distance featured a notable upset with the Fever taking down the Dream and included the dethroning of defending champions, all contributed to the dramatic narrative that captivated audiences. Even pre-game shows, like WNBA Countdown, saw a 4% viewership increase. These numbers prove the WNBA is hotter than ever. But what's being said about Caitlin Clark behind the scenes? Get ready, because Fever star Sophie Cunningham is about to reveal what makes playing with Caitlin Clark so incredibly fun. Stephanie White on Caitlin Clark, leadership beyond the court. Despite a season riddled with adversity and key injuries, including the devastating loss of star guard Caitlin Clark for the season, the Indiana Fever have remained fiercely competitive under first-year head coach Stephanie White. Now, White is shedding light on Clark's invaluable contributions, even from the sidelines. During an appearance on In Case You Missed It with Christina Williams, White spoke glowingly about Clark's perspective and leadership. "You can also gain a different perspective when you're watching from the sidelines," White explained, noting that Clark's hunger to compete is amplified when she can't participate directly. White has been deeply impressed by how Clark has navigated her injury with maturity and class, continuing to pour her energy into leading the team. "I have no doubt that Caitlin Clark is always hungry, but you're hungrier when you're not able to participate, and I think this season, she's gained a new perspective, a different perspective," White shared. When asked to compare Clark to other generational talents she's coached, White emphasized their shared intense competitiveness and unwavering work ethic. She highlighted that these players don't just show up, they are incredibly purposeful in their training and approach, which sets them apart. Even though Clark was limited to just 13 games this season due to injuries, her presence and voice from the bench have been crucial for the Fever, who are currently making a deep playoff run. Clark's leadership is undeniable, but what about the on-court chemistry? Fever star Sophie Cunningham is about to give us the inside scoop on why playing with Caitlin Clark is so much fun. Sophie Cunningham on Caitlin Clark, a generational talent's fun factor. The Indiana Fever's resilient playoff push has been a story of overcoming injuries and unexpected triumphs. Amidst the team's success, guard Sophie Cunningham is offering a candid and affectionate look at what makes playing alongside Caitlin Clark such a special and enjoyable experience. On The Young Man and the 3 podcast, Cunningham didn't hold back her praise for Clark's unique qualities. She highlighted Clark's exceptional basketball IQ, stating, "When she was locked in, it was so fun to watch her play because she was 4 steps ahead of everyone else." Cunningham elaborated that Clark's ability to anticipate plays and direct the team, both offensively and defensively, elevates everyone around her. She affectionately described Clark as a big kid with a personality that injects energy and light into the locker room, calling her a generational talent who is so phenomenal and so elite at her craft. Cunningham also shared a personal touch, comparing Clark to her younger cousins and emphasizing her deep capacity for love and friendship, even while being an elite athlete. Despite both Cunningham and Clark facing significant injury setbacks this season, their shared understanding and rapport are evident. Cunningham, who battled her own injuries, has embraced a bench coach role, offering support and insight. Clark, limited to 13 games, still showcased elite playmaking despite shooting percentages dipping. Their ability to impact the game, whether on or off the court, solidifies their importance to the Fever's future success, as demonstrated by their surprising playoff upset victories. From MVP snubs to record-breaking viewership and glowing teammate testimonials, this WNBA season has it all. Don't go anywhere, because we're about to wrap it all up with a lightning round recap and a massive call to action. And that's a wrap on another action-packed episode of the Roger Report. We covered Kelsey Mitchell's MVP snub, the record-shattering WNBA Playoffs first-round viewership, Stephanie White's insights on Caitlin Clark's leadership, and Sophie Cunningham's take on playing with Clark. What an incredible season. If you loved this breakdown, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more exclusive sports content, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Follow us on all social media platforms to stay connected. We'll see you in the next one.